everybody, I'm Lis. Come on a journey with me and you can see how I see. In touch. Hi everyone, I'm going to give you some tips on how to teach blind and visually impaired clients how to crack and separate eggs. And some of your clients, depending on their experience, may only have ever seen eggs served on a plate, so they might need to be oriented to how they're packaged. So that could be an early lesson. I assume that person knows that skill. Some of your students are going to be nervous if they haven't worked with eggs. They might think of them as incredibly fragile, and they're going to be uncomfortable even taking one from your hand because they think they're, really easy to break, which eggs do break, but you don't just touch them and they disintegrate. One problem that happens sometimes is someone will be working on a recipe. Maybe they've got their dry ingredients in the bowl. They're starting to add the wet ingredients. They crack the egg in, and now a little shell goes in there. Now they've mixed it in with the rest of the ingredients. So you might want to use a separate bowl to make sure your eggs are ready, and then you can transfer them into the bowl where they will be combined with the other ingredients. The other thing I advise students to not do, people tend to crack the egg on the side of the bowl, and what that can do is it breaks a little triangle of the shell that can get pushed up into the shell, and then when you put your egg into your bowl, now you have that little piece, that little fragment of the shell is in your recipe. So what I recommend doing is to hit the egg on the counter to break it. Now, you don't want them to hold the egg far back in their hand where it's in the palm or the heel of the hand. You want it to be grasped by the fingers. And once it breaks, they'll bring their hands together and be using both hands. But for the initial whack, hold it like this. All right. And they can feel that break, obviously. So then hold it with the break down, and your index fingers, your fingers are underneath the egg, your thumbs are on top, and you push up with your fingers a little bit and pull out, and then the egg goes into the bowl. All right, I have a trash can over here. I'm not throwing stuff on the floor. All right, so that's the basics for just cracking an egg. They could feel, with, I would say maybe just one index finger, kind of go down here if they've never seen an egg. You could have them explore. In this case, my yolk broke, so they wouldn't be able to feel the yolk in there. I'll break another one and, oops, see. So I dropped my shell. Don't think I've done that in a very long time, but there it is. It's just floating on top, so they could easily reach in, lift that out. It's definitely easier when it's a big piece like that. But now the yolk is here, and you could orient them kind of to the different parts of the egg and how they feel. The white kind of has this snotty, slimy feel, and the yolk has this puffy, bubbly sort of shape, and it's a ball, and the yolk is encased in that outer membrane. So they can kind of check that out. For separating eggs, I'm going to be making some creme brulee, so I need yolks just for that, and don't need the whites. So here I've got this yolk that is in this egg mixture, and one of the methods you can use is just to scoop that yolk out. So if you find the yolk and you kind of trap it between the side of the bowl, and then bring your fingers up under, and then the white will run through your fingers, and then you have the yolk in your hand. I'm gonna put that in there with my other yolks that I've already been playing with here. So that's one method. Another method would be to crack the egg into your hand. So I crack the egg with my right hand, my dominant hand. I open it up into my left hand, and the white will run through my fingers down into the bowl, and the yolk will remain in my hand. Again, you want to caution them that they want this to break onto their fingers, not back into the palm, because you're trying to get the mixture to run through your fingers. All right, and you can see, they can feel that, you guys can see it, that it's kind of running over the side of my fingers. Some of it ran through, and it all slid off. I'm gonna fish it out the other way. Might use my other video, it might have gone better. All right, so that's the through your fingers method. Let me do it again. Not sure, I don't really need this many yolks for my recipe, but that's okay. I'll do it again and capture it this time. Part of it is I'm very much right-handed, so I kind of want that to be in my right hand, running through, not my left. It has to sort of, there it goes. It has to break off from the yolk, and that time it worked. All right, so there's another yolk. Wipe my hands off. I've mentioned in my other videos that I used to work with an instructor that told her students that they could never touch any food directly with their hands, and I obviously don't subscribe to that philosophy, because I think as long as your hands are clean, which I cleaned them before the video, I cleaned this work area, it's okay to touch your ingredients as you're working with them. All right, now I'm going to crack it, and instead of running it through my hand, I'm going to capture the yolk in my shell. All right, so I'm going to hold, I whacked it on its side like I normally do. I'm holding it vertically this time and putting my fingers in here to lift the shell off. So I've got the bottom half of the yolk is in the bottom half. Put my finger kind of on top and rotated it. Not rotated it, tilted it, and the white spilled into the bowl, and I'm left with the yolk here in my shell. So that's another method that you can use. All right, put that in there. All right, the final method that you can use for separating eggs requires a little kitchen tool. You can probably get it at the dollar store, Target, Walmart, Amazon. They're not very expensive. It's called an egg separator, and it's well named. It's probably about the size around as the top of this bowl. So you could actually lay it over the top of this bowl, and then the center part of the egg separator would be over the bowl. And it has a little lip that can hang over your bowl to keep the egg separator up over the center of the bowl. And then in the center is a little divot that's shaped like an egg yolk. So it's a little round cavity that will hold the yolk, and then going around the perimeter of that cavity are little slats. And what happens is when you crack the egg into the egg separator, the yolk goes into the cavity, and then the white runs through those little holes, and the white goes down into the bowl. So then you have your yolk in the egg separator and your white in the bowl, and then you could use them as you need to, separated. Sorry, I don't own one of those. I don't know, go to your friend Google, and I'm sure you can very easily find a picture of, and perhaps a demonstration of, an egg separator. My friend who's a potter, I'll have to see if I can get her to make me a video of this. She probably still has them. I have one, but it's packed way far away. but it's a mug and it has a face on it, and the top of it is designed that when you crack the egg into it, the yolk stays in the mug and the white comes out the nose of the mug. So you could even find some little novelty egg separators that would be kind of silly and fun but functional. So I will see if my friend Jody still has her egg whites. So it kind of looks like snot coming out of the nose of the egg separator. So kids love that kind of stuff. So I guess we adults do also. So anyway, that's how you crack and separate eggs. Have fun and keep cooking. Bye. Hey everyone, thanks for coming by to check out my video. If you liked it, go ahead and click the like button, and you might want to subscribe to my channel, and you can ring the bell so you get a notification when the next video comes out. If you need to get in touch with me, maybe you want to make a request or you want to check on booking for an event, you can shoot me an email. It's Lis, L-I-S, sings for you, and the 4 is a word, not a number, @gmail.com. Hope to hear from you soon. Bye!